All right, this video is designed to give you an overview of the terminology, the lingo of Twitter, and basically the navigation of the twitter.com desktop website. This is not going to go over what you'll see in the mobile app. There are some differences, but a lot of the same concepts will carry over from platform to platform. So this is designed for those of you that really don't know where to start with Twitter. You're just not sure the language of it or anything else. So over here on the left side, we're going to kind of use this as our guideline for how we're going to talk about the different pieces of Twitter. And so Twitter itself is an information network made up of 140 character messages, including photos, videos, and links. And again, it's from people from all over the world, over 300 million monthly users. You can sign up at twitter.com if you don't have an account and just go through the process there using an email account, and it'll walk you right through that. But Twitter, this is what it looks like here. And so this is what you would call your home tab. And on your home tab, you have several pieces. You've got a link to your profile information. You've got trending topics. You've got an area here to be able to type in a tweet. You have moments and notifications and messages across the top. We'll talk about each of those more in a few minutes. You can search anything you want to here on Twitter in the search box. And here's another tweet button. Here is another opportunity to get to your profile. And then over here you can see suggestions that Twitter makes based on who you already follow and what they see as your interests. Now, your timeline feed here, your timeline is a real-time stream of tweets. Your home stream, for instance, is where you'll see all the tweets shared by your friends and other people that you follow. A lot of people are worried that when they see something on this that comes up that might not be something they really find appropriate or that they really like, they worry that other people are going to see that. This feed is catered to you. You're the only one that's going to see it when you're logged in because it's made up of advertisements. It's made up of people that you follow directly. Your tweets will show up here, but your tweets will also show up in another area. So don't panic if you see something in here that's inappropriate. You can block those users, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes also. So now let's go across the top, but notifications. If I click on that, you'll see this is going to give me all of the notifications of how people have interacted with me or the tweets that I've been a part of. And so notification timeline displays your interaction with other Twitter users, like mentions, favorites, retweets, and who has recently followed you. You have two types. You have all, and then you have specific mentions. Also along the top, you have messages. These are the private, direct messages. Now remember that any message that you have is not necessarily private because the other person could share that in some form or fashion, just like anything else that's online. It's not totally private, but this is where you can interact with people, just you and them. Your top tweets, the trending items here is a popular thing on Twitter. You'll hear people say we're trending, and that just means that there's lots of activity on that. And so sometimes you'll see a Twitter chat that you might be in or other activities that you find interesting, maybe here in the trends. You also, as we mentioned, have the who to follow section over there that's going to help you figure out people that might be of interest to you. And we've talked about a couple of ways that we can get to our profile, but I'm going to come up here in the upper right-hand corner and click on my little picture and say View Profile. And your profile displays information that you choose to share publicly, as well as all of the tweets that you've posted. Your profile, along with your Twitter @username, identify you on Twitter. So here is my @username. This is how people can direct mention me. And so you can see right here, there's a tweet that I've sent out a couple days ago, and I directly mentioned J. Matt Miller, the author of Ditch That Textbook. And so he would get a notification based on his settings stating that I've said something about him on Twitter. That's basically your username in the Twitter world. You also have a profile photo that you can change. You have a header photo, so this is your header up here, and you can add a photo to it. And then you have your bio here, and that bio is limited to 160 characters. You can put links, so I've got a link here to a chat that I moderate and a couple other groups that I'm in on a website. Now, when you get into a specific tweet, so we're going to look at this tweet that I sent out, I've got the option to like a tweet. And there's a couple of reasons why we might like it. I might like it just so that I can acknowledge to the other person that I saw their message and that I appreciate what they said. And I can also like it and then as a way of kind of curating content. So right up here in my tabs that go underneath my header photo, I have the option to look at all the things that and it's going to then list all the different things that I've liked at some time. I also have the option here to look at lists that I've created. And so you can see I have different lists that help me kind of curate content based on people that I add to certain lists. And I can create a list by clicking on my profile picture up here and then saying lists. The other information that you're going to see here is who you're following and your followers. So anybody can follow me. And I do go through my list at times and block people that have inappropriate accounts, but I only follow the people that I want to follow. And just because somebody follows me does not mean that I have to follow them. Whenever I go to somebody's profile page, you're going to notice that you get this blue or red button. And in my case, because I'm already following this person, it tells me that I'm following, and I get the option to unfollow them. If I wasn't following him yet, I would be able to click that so that I can then follow him. I also have this gear icon next to that where I can pull up some different options to mute people. Muting somebody doesn't mean that I unfollow them. All it does is kind of shuts down me seeing all their activity in a feed. I participate in a lot of Twitter chats, and so I'm sure there's a lot of people that mute me because I send out a lot of tweets in a short period of time during those. I can block people right here, so if it's an account that I find inappropriate, I can block it. So essentially a follower is somebody on Twitter that's followed you that wants to see your activity in their home stream. Now, we already mentioned the @ symbol, so everybody has an @ symbol, and right here in their profile page, I can always find that @ symbol, and that's how I would want to contact that person. So again, that is also how I would mention somebody and would kind of alert somebody that I wanted to have a communication with them. Twitter works around hashtags. Right here you'll see a hashtag HTTR. This is the way that you kind of connect your tweet to something else. So if I was going to participate in the TCEA 8 chat that I do, I always put the or the hashtag symbol and then TCEA 8 chat following it. And that way people can then click on any hashtag. So if I wanted to click on this Celebrate Monday or search for it up here, I could type it in. But now when I click on that, it's going to bring me to the page that has all of the content that anybody has ever put the hashtag Celebrate Monday on. So again, here I can see the top posts. I can see the latest posts. So if you're participating in a Twitter chat, this is where you would want to look, and all this other information here that you see. Hashtags are the ways that you can find other educational chats. And it's also, again, how you're going to basically gather or search for the information that you're looking for. So now let's talk about how we're actually going to tweet something. I have two options. Here on my home page where it says what's happening, I can click in there and start tweeting out, or I have the tweet button up here in the upper right-hand corner. Both of them give me the same dialog box. I can add my location, add a GIF file, which is an image that moves, kind of like a video. And here I can add photos or videos. I also have the option to add an emoji. And you notice that I have 140 characters. So I can type in a tweet, something along these lines. This one wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but you get the idea. So this is a tweet that I want to mention. And so if I'm going to mention Mackenzie Cross, I have to put the @ symbol in front of it. You notice it then creates a link. So she can see it. And I'm also including the Sulphur Springs hashtag SULSPRISD. What this means now is anybody that wanted to search for whatever is being discussed in our district on Twitter that's had this hashtag attached to it, you can now search for that and see all the tweets that different people have tweeted out. And then all I would have to do is hit tweet, or I could go ahead and here and add a photo to it. Within all of the tweets that you see on your homepage in your Twitter feed, you also have the option to reply. So if I click on this button right here, I can get that same dialog box, and by replying, it's going to address and mention anybody that's already been mentioned in the previous message. So that helps you save a little bit of time. When I click on this retweet button, I get a couple of options. I can do nothing right here in the add a comment section and just click retweet. And that's just going to say that I sent out this exact message so that all of my followers could see Brian's message. I might want to add a comment though, and now this works just like your tweet options. I can't add a picture to it, but I can mention things. So retweeting content you've seen can be done just directly without a comment, or you can add a comment, and that's called a retweet with a comment. Now there are things like alerts. I've talked about blocks. URLs are the web links that you share within something, and so when you see something like this one here, this is a link. Twitter will automatically shorten those for you, but they do count against your character limits. So you want to make sure that you're careful of that as you're tweeting out things. If I want to like something, I've got the option right here to click the heart button. We talked about what likes are before and the reasons why you might want to like something. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of an overview of what you can do on Twitter, how you're going to navigate around Twitter. Hopefully this comes in handy and you'll get on Twitter soon.